What's going on, guys? Chat here from Powercock. This isn't a recap video of this war. Congrats to Immoral Thieves, though, on week 1 win. They played awesome. They're 10 Hall 11, so offense and defense were really the difference. But anyways, this is not about our war or Powercock at all. It's about the app, and kind of wanted to talk to you about where we're at with the app, what were the reasons for the delays, what's going to be in it, and kind of just start the general conversation leading up to its launch. So, as you all know, the app has been kind of talked about and planned on being launched for, I don't know, probably the past 2-3 months. Realistically, it was very early on, almost even in season 1, that we had first kind of started talking about it. And something that a lot of you don't know is that I was actually working on this for about 14 months now. So even before CWL kind of came to be, had this idea, I was actually talking to Supercell about building this app, leading back to like December of 2015. Like it's been kind of rolling around in my head for quite a long time, just looking at what does the community need, will people really enjoy or even need this type of experience, and how can we really make an impact. So a lot of different things kind of came to be to do the app. Obviously with CWL there's a more unified community and everybody's really excited about what's going on, and that gives you a platform to really have a few thousand people that are really committed and need this type of experience. So it just made sense from a timing perspective to put it pretty significantly around CWL and focus on that community. So but kind of like, I guess the reason for the more recent delays is the app's actually been ready for about 3 weeks, is when we got API access through Supercell, so they've been great to work with to get us what we need. We're still waiting on a couple things to make it like really perfect, but they've been amazing to work with and have got us more than we thought we were going to be able to access. So that's exciting. I guess I can kind of go through and talk about the specific features that are going to be coming to the app, as well as how it's going to kind of change the way that people are going to be keeping up with scores and keeping up with their favorite clans and things like that. So I guess kind of jumping right in, what is the app? So people have seen the leaked screenshots about what's going to be in it. There's obviously going to be the CWL standings and schedule. That's obviously pretty critical. The entire war community is really focused on CWL and kind of what's going on. Here's Boone with a 6-pack. This war, awesome work, man. And so obviously there's going to be like the CWL focused things, really kind of getting people engaged with what's going on a week-to-week basis. Everybody's usually hitting up the Discord server and DMing people and trying to figure, okay, like what's the score of Dark Looters versus War Whales, right? And you got to wait around. You got to see if anybody from those clans is online. It's just not necessarily the greatest process. You're wondering if it's outdated information, what have you, right? So we're kind of pleased to say that we do have real-time stats in the app. Supercell's provided access to this, and pretty incredible that we've got that support. It's not something that they do for all of the people accessing their API. It is something that's special for us, and really thankful and privileged to have that level of access. The other thing that kind of provides is you've got the real-time updates for the app, or for the entire community. You can see exactly what's going on in each specific war. But it also really optimizes our process for league statistics. So you guys all remember, at least the leader representatives will remember from last season, where after each week you've got to upload all of your screenshots of your clan's attacks, and you've got to kind of make sure that somebody has handled that process. Stats got missed, people didn't enter them correctly, there was human error, there was names missing. It was kind of we did our best, and some people worked really hard on it, but it really wasn't a refined process to where we wanted it to be. So kind of fast forwarding to what the system is going to be doing is it's actually going to be taking a snapshot of the results of each war pretty much immediately after the war ends. So there's going to be some process. We're going to work with the clan leaders on understanding what their requirements will be in terms of making sure that they don't start a new war like immediately after. There's going to be a little bit of a gap period where we need to confirm that the stats have been uploaded. And it's all going to be passive. They're not going to have to do anything, but they do need to kind of confirm that the stats are available in the app before they go and do another spin. But it's going to pick up offensive and defensive stats for every player in the league, which is pretty incredible. So that's something that we're really excited about, for a number of reasons. Obviously, just the real time, but also the stats. So we've got relevant information around who are the top performers in the league. Obviously, there are things where people are trying to be perform at the top of their game and trying to represent their clans, and this is kind of the opportunity where we can actually realistically monitor it, and so that's pretty awesome. The other thing that kind of leads to is something that we've kind of talked about. Still figuring out some of the details on this. Like, admittedly, it's not quite where I want it to be, but it's the fantasy league. So for those of you that follow fantasy football, you'll kind of understand where this is going. So essentially the way it's going to work, again, not probably at launch. We're going to get it out as soon as possible so that people can kind of get their teams put together as soon as into the league as possible. But people are going to be able to pick specific players from across the league to make their fantasy team. And what it's going to do, because we've got the individual statistics for every single war and every single attack and every single defense, is that we're basically able to create profiles and collect those stats and make it seem like if those players were all into the same team, how would that team perform against, let's say, your buddies that you're kind of betting against. So there's some pretty detailed work that still has to be done to making sure that that process is sound. We have to make sure that we're obviously adhering to the Supercell APIs and access protocols and stuff like that. And so we're still working on that, but that's kind of an end goal for the individual statistics, and something that could be pretty incredible and really take this towards more of an esports type of community. So excited to continue to work on that, and we'll see how fast we can get there. What else? The app's also going to bring in certain things that the kind of general Clash community has always used, and kind of the Elite War community. And there's tools obviously like Clash Caller and Skitch and stuff like that, and we're going to try to incorporate some tools like that into the app, where you no longer have to access tools from a number of different sources. It's all kind of built into one package that's built specifically for Clash and even the War community specifically. So that's kind of something that we're working on as well, to bring as soon as possible. So we'll see how this all rolls out. It's going to be kind of a living product. We're going to continue to listen to feedback from the community and what features you guys are liking, what features you're not quite liking, and really tailor it towards what you guys are looking for. So again, it'll continue to grow. We'll see how far it gets, and yeah. So that's about it for the app. Again, kind of an exciting time leading up to when it's going to be launched. I'm hoping for week number 2. The clan's leadership have all been really incredible in working with us to gather stats for the week 1 so that no data is lost, and that's a pretty cool, critical piece to it. And so we're hopeful that the app will be collecting the stats for the league starting on week 2. So that's kind of the timeline we're working with. The website's going to be up tonight, I believe. That'll give some more general information, similar to what you saw for last season, but with obviously the updated information. And then hopefully the app will come about a week after that, leading into week 2. So that's kind of where we're looking at for that. I guess the other thing kind of might as well talk about is a recap of week 1. It's been a crazy week. For those of you that follow pretty closely, there's obviously been our fair share of drama. There's been some pretty incredible movements from Supercell on getting the league to be more fair play than ever, and doing not only a mod ban sweep, which I don't believe caught anybody in the league, but they also did a account sharing a ban sweep. Still quite a bit of controversy around, was this sweep targeted against certain players, and if so, who provided that list? because I'm sure CWL wouldn't have provided a list that would have targeted specific clans or accounts themselves. Knowing the admins quite well, they would have wanted to do a full league sweep, and I'm sure that that's coming. So we're still kind of waiting for the official on that. But what is very clear, and the admins have confirmed on this one, is that the sweeps targeted players that had shared accounts or had been accessed from a device or maybe even an IP address that had used third-party technologies in the past. So that's a pretty creative and incredible way to create a fair play, clean league. Now again, for this to work properly, it needs to be the entire league. So we'll see where that's going to go, and I hope that there will continue to be more sweeps throughout the community. One more 10v10 replay for you guys. So again, it only works if the entire league has been swept. That's the only way we can really confirm that the entire league is truly fair play, and so we'll look forward to seeing more bans. I think only, last time I checked, there was only about maybe 10 or so bans in the league, so not too bad. Obviously we have to continue to monitor it and make sure that the league that we're playing in stays fair play, and there will be work to do, and leaders still have to be vigilant and everything like that. And but it is an exciting step for the league to take, and awesome that Supercell's kind of worked with them on that to obviously get access, because not everybody can prove certain things, whereas if you got Supercell behind you doing a lot of the research and the sweeps themselves, then obviously that gives everything a lot more credibility. So excited to have their participation as always. Again, it's their game. They've put the rules in place, and we're kind of have this amazing league within their environment, and so it's good to have their support when we're needing things like the API access, or getting them to clean up the league that we're in, or clean up the community, I should say, to make sure that everybody's staying fair play. So anyways, that's going to wrap this up. Kind of just some of my general thoughts about what's coming. I guess a quick shout out, 2 podcasts that you guys should be listening to. There's obviously the official CWL podcast. There's also the unofficial By Forever show. It's pretty great to follow CWL content. And join the Discord server. Again, website's coming out tonight, I believe, so follow that, follow the Twitter, follow us on Facebook. It's a great community that's been built. Obviously, I've taken a bit of a step back as admin, but still very involved as kind of a co-founder, and still doing the app and technology side of things. So feel free to reach out to myself. If I can't answer from an official admin perspective, I will put you in touch with somebody that can. So anyways, guys, cheers. Good luck in week 2 to all clans. We'll see you out there. Later.